Business plan on paper is not the same as a business in execution mode. My dear, you're going to have a wake-up call. Hello, badass bosses. My name is Patty and I'm a badass marketing strategist. I help entrepreneurs turn their businesses into cash dispensers. So, based off of my previous video on how I quit my 9-to-5 to start my current business, I got requests on, a video talking about how to, transition from a 9-to-5 to running your own business. If you've not watched it, I'm going to link it up here, any of the buttons above, and then you can catch up on that. So I'm going to be sharing with you 11 things you should know before quitting your 9-to-5 to start your business, right? Point number 1, which is very important: do not jump off the ship without a lifeboat. I understand that sometimes you're so frustrated with the job, you feel like you're in a rut, you feel like you're mentally not in a good place, and you'll do anything to get out of there. Now, you need to note that you cannot jump out without knowing if the business will succeed or not. So if your plan is, I'm going to quit and then I'm going to start the business, don't do it. If you do that, it can blow up in your face. So your lifeboat becomes your business. Your business is now going to take place of the salary that your 9-to-5 used to give you. So you have to test out the idea and ensure that it is viable. People are actually interested. There's demand for it before you jump ship, all right? Give it at least 6 months of testing, because a business plan on paper is not the same as a business in execution mode. My dear, you're going to have a wake-up call. It's not as smooth, it's not as rosy. Some of the things you could swear by would not work, right? Because consumers are constantly evolving, especially if it's an industry totally different from what you are practicing in your 9-to-5. You definitely have to test it out. Know what's working on the ground, and then when you are working out, you know what to expect in that market. Point number 2, do not enter this lifeboat without a life jacket. In this case, your life jacket is money, right? It's money. So if you'd realize before you get in any boat, you're asked to put on a life jacket, because if something should go wrong and you should get into the water, it's the life jacket that's going to save you, right? So money. Do not leave without any money. Do not leave if you don't have savings. And I know that it can be hard, especially if you're leaving the job because it's not paying you well enough. Do you get what I mean? And like, how much am I going to save? How long do I have to save before I leave? Have at least 6 months of your expenses saved up before you quit your job, so that it can sustain you. But if your job is not paying you enough to save, how do you do that, right? So, but honestly speaking, from my experience, you don't want to feel like you're a burden on other people, your family, your friends, people that can support you financially. You would want to be able to take care of certain things by yourself. And at the stage of that business, it may not be bringing in as much revenue as you were expecting to be able to live the lifestyle you were living before you quit your job. When you quit your job, you are no longer financially secured. When you were in the 9-to-5, every month, maybe every 26th or 27th, 28th, you know that there's money or there's salary coming in. At this point, you don't know when a customer, your marketing can be able to sort that out, but you really do not know what's going to happen next. If you have family and friends who can support you, then great. If not, and you're working out without any savings, any money, please pray for a miracle, because it's going to take a miracle to survive that. Point number 3 is entrepreneurship is not for everybody. It's not for everybody. So, if you don't think you're an entrepreneur, please do not quit, because it's blood, sweat, and tears over here. Blood, sweat, and tears over here. So, but what I'm going to let you know is that entrepreneurship can be nurtured. So you can build up the skill of becoming a good business owner. So don't fix it in your mindset that this entrepreneurship thing is not for me. But if you feel that you are tired of your 9 to 5 and you want to, go into something else for yourself, then you can do that. Practice, it gets better and better. Every day that you exist as a business owner is a learning curve, all right? So you can get better, equip yourself with resources that helps you become a good entrepreneur. Listen to podcasts of business experts, watch videos, read books, read case studies, and that's how your mind will be expanded to be able to bring your vision to life. You do not have to have it figured out from the get-go, all right? You learn along the line. Any entrepreneur will tell you that the first day or the first few months of running their business, they were, not as seasoned as they are now presently. Even if you've been in business for just 2 years, compare then and now. The things you know now are not the same as the things you used to know, right? So with time, you would get better. Be ready to learn. Listen to people that are doing amazing in these fields already. And that is your gateway to being a badass entrepreneur. Point number 4, which can shake you a bit, is only leave when your business can afford to pay you. Only leave when the revenue coming in can afford to pay you as a business owner. Because what happens is, if you're not paying yourself, you are going to dip into the business rate. Take it from experience, mine experience, right? You're going to dip into, every time you need something, you're going to put your hand into the business account. And it's not enough to say that I have a separate corporate account. I have a separate account for my business. I have a separate personal account. It's not enough, my dear. It's your money. You spend it. And at the end of the year, you sit down feeling like you've not accomplished anything because you don't have anything in your savings. Yes, I'm talking from experience. Yes. So it's very important that you only leave when you can afford to pay yourself. So now when you pay yourself, you know that I'm paying myself this amount of money and I have to live off that. Get an accountant, get somebody who you can be accountable to in terms of your finances, right? When you get to the point where you feel like, where did all my money go? It's not your village people, Amma. It's not your village people, my dear. It's not your village people. It is you. You spent it. You chop them, all right? So make sure that you're able to pay yourself, and then you practice delayed gratification. Point number 5 is you need to drastically slash down your cost of living. No frugal living, no frivolous living over here, my dear. You need to learn to practice delayed gratification, right? Don't indulge in, you can take care of yourself, but don't do it too much. The business needs the money. Money for any business is like food. The business needs money to grow. So if you're spending it on things that are not pouring back into the business, I'm begging you, please cut down your cost of living. Even if you have savings, 1 year savings, 2 year savings sitting there, please, you do not know what the future holds. So it's very important that you live a very modest lifestyle until the business blooms. I, for instance, was hit by COVID, and I'm like, what? I was expecting to make money during this time. And so the business I initially wanted to start was a fashion business. COVID, lockdown, who is buying clothes? Nobody. So the revenue I had my eye on top of, me neither saw, was hit. So what happens? It took a toll on my mental health, so I cut my cost of living. And now, come to think of it, I think I should go back to living on that budget, because as money started coming in, I've started, increasing my expenses. It's very important that as an individual during this phase, you focus on the needs, what you need, not what you want. What you need. If you can survive without buying it, you will not die. Please save that money for rainy days. Point number 6 is it doesn't have to be an entirely new industry. It doesn't have to be buying and selling. It doesn't have to be retailing. It can be the thing you are doing at your 9 to 5 currently. Just think about it. You are so great at what you do at your job currently. Why can't you make a business out of it? And you may be thinking that I do not have the capital to start. I do not have, how do I get my first client? I can teach you to do that. Hop into my DM if you find yourself in this situation. Hop into my DM and let's have a discussion on that. When I quit my job, I was going to start a fashion brand. In fact, I had started a fashion brand, and that's what I used to do, the 6 months phase. And COVID happened. I've been wanting to consult for small business for the longest time because I could see the gap, but I felt I was not ready, and it wasn't going to bring me money as soon as possible because I needed money to survive, which is why you need to save money. So when COVID happened, I had no choice than to pick this up. So I feel like God really tricked me into quitting my job, because I have always said that if I don't know what I'm going to do next, I'm not going to quit my job. I've been wanting to quit my job since I finished national service, because that lifestyle was just not for me. It was too draining and tiring. But I always told myself that I do not want to go and sit at home and not know where the next meal is going to come from. So God said, okay, this is the bait. The fashion business is the bait. Got me out, and then boom, COVID happened. And then I had to pick this up. And it's been amazing since. The first few months were rocky. But when I started consulting experts, coaches, and all of that, I started being able to monetize what I know. So I'm going to put it to you that take note of your superpowers. What can you absolutely do? What are you so great at? Look at your country, look at your environment. Do people need this service? That is your cue that you can start businesses. Are there people struggling to do things that you can do easily, even if your eyes are closed? That should tell you that there's demand for what you know or what you have expertise in. They probably just don't know yet until you make them aware of that. All right. So the digital economy is booming. There are ebooks, courses, creating courses, build a personal brand and make money off the personal brand. So you don't only have to quit to start a business that you are completely new to. Point number 7 is a lot of people quit their job. Whatever capital they are looking for is to grow the business. I need you to know today that it's very important that you also invest in your personal development, in your expertise as an entrepreneur, right? You cannot Google your way forever into growing your business, YouTube and all of that. And if you understand marketing funnels as I do, you know that these videos, these articles are not the full cake. It's just a slice of the cake. All right. So it's very important that you put money aside to invest in you, to invest in your personal development, to invest in your knowledge. Constantly seek to improve upon yourself in order to grow the business. There's so much information in the world that you do not know. It's in somebody else's head. It's in somebody else's hands. So sometimes you need to pay to get access. Sometimes you need to build a rapport with the person to get access. Paying somebody with the expertise will save you years of trial and error. Don't be a coconut head and then you say that, oh, I'm going to figure it out on my own. Yes, I did it for the first few months and it didn't work. So I said, you know what, let me start buying the courses. Let me start tapping into the knowledge of the people that are already doing this and are making millions. Point number 8 is it's important that you nurture relationships with people that can support you. A lot of people get frustrated when they are running a business and their friends don't support them, their family don't support, or when you drop the bombshell that I'm quitting my job. You're like, what's going on? These people would fight you, they will say stuff. They are not bad people. They just care too much about you to allow you to make a bad decision. Sometimes they will say things that will discourage you, they're just trying to shield you from any disappointment, right? So these people care so much about you that they don't want to see you cry. They don't want to see you heartbroken. So in as much as you have these people in your corner, it's very important that you have people that are already living this journey and understand the vision that you have. A lot of the time, your family will not give you the support you need because they cannot see the vision. But keep pushing. So long as you believe in the vision, keep pushing. Once it starts materializing, they're gonna come around. I'm a typical example. All the things I'm saying is based off of experience. So my advice to you is that anybody who you feel discourages you is not sharing your excitement with you. And I know that sometimes you'll be able to figure something out on your own and you want to share with your friend, and that friend cannot relate. Don't be discouraged. Don't take it personally. When your business starts flying, they're gonna come around. And don't make them feel like, well, when I was struggling, you were nowhere to be found, so I'm not gonna know. Sometimes they just don't understand what journey you are on until they see it in a tangible format. Nurture relationships, find mentors, find people that would speak positivity into your life, into your head, who would help your mindset. Find people that are already on the journey, make friends with them, and you're good to go. Point number 9, we're almost done. 2 more points to go. Now, passion alone is not going to sustain your business. The fact that you are passionate about something, the fact that you love something is not going to sustain your business. Same as skill alone. So this is 2 points in one. The skill alone you have is not going to sustain your business. You need all the other things surrounding you, right? Everything in business is interconnected. Your operations, your customer service, your customer experience, your marketing, your accounting, your finances, purchasing and supply, your supply chain, all those things are interconnected. So if you think you're a hairstylist and you just knowing how to do hair is going to sustain you, no. Just being able to, just feeling the need to solve a problem in society is not enough. But what I would say about that is when life starts lashing you, when life starts kicking you in the butt, when the business starts kicking you in the butt, it's the passion that's going to keep you going. So I advise that you keep that passion right here and keep going. Passion is the fuel to your business. But this business does not only depend on this fuel, right? You need so many emotional intelligence, you need leadership skills, you need negotiation skills. You need to know how to convert somebody who is interested into somebody who is a customer. There are 2 different things. You need to be able to get somebody who is interested to become a paying customer. All those things take skill. Brace yourself. Passion is not enough, my dear. Brace yourself. Point number 10 is a wake-up call that nobody is coming to get you. Nobody is coming to fix it for you. You know, when you used to work in 9 to 5 and somebody is figuring out how salaries are paid, when they are paid, how that office chair gets in there, how all those office supplies get in there, that was somebody's responsibility. Now it's yours. Nobody's coming to ask you where the report is. Nobody's coming to ask you where the content plan is. Nobody's coming to ask you. You are your own boss. So you need to act like your own boss. You need to be extremely disciplined, because you're going to wake up one day and not feel like, I don't want to do this, I just want to lay in bed. If it was somebody's job, will you show up or not? You will still show up unless you are critically ill. If you're killing yourself for somebody's job, why won't you kill yourself for yours? Right? Something you are building for yourself. If we're going to work through the rain when you are in your 9 to 5, then why are you not going to open your shop in the rain whilst you are building your business, your legacy? Help me understand. All right? So nobody's coming to fix you. You need to build that level of aggressiveness, the discipline to see through everything that you tell yourself you are going to do. And if you need somebody to help you kick up come to me, come for coaching, sign up for coaching, and I'm going to shake you. I'm just kidding. I'm not strict. Then my final and my most important point is the God factor. And I'm going to leave one Bible verse with you. Jeremiah 29:11-12, and it says, and I quote, that, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. And you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you." Everything you see here is because I am God and God is me. He created me in his own image, so that means that his spirit lives in me, his intuition lives in me, his wisdom lives in me. And I was able to tap into that by building a better relationship with God. The person that created you even before you were conceived, even before your parents decided to meet and have he knew what you were going to become. So it's very certain that he knew that you get to a point where you would want to quit your job. So why don't you consult him? He has the blueprint. He has the master plan. Consult him. He didn't promise that it's going to be easy, but he promised you something. He promised you something at the end of the day. So even if he's called you to do it, doesn't mean it's going to be on a silver platter. You have to work for it. So be in so much sync with God that even your decision making is based off of God's direction, right? The intuition you get, the discernment you get, it from the Holy Spirit. It's very important. That has been my guiding factor. I always say that God is the CEO of my business. How do I make a decision without the CEO? You'll be fired. So this brings us to the end of this video. I would also like to add that there's a purpose tied to your life. There's something you've been assigned to do as an individual. And most of the time, until you connect with God and you become self-aware, you wouldn't know what it is. So it's very important that you connect yourself with your primary maker. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that whenever I upload something, you would be notified. All right? And share this video with that friend of yours, that sister, that brother who wants to quit his job but doesn't know how to go about it. All right? I'll see you in the next video. Badass bosses. Bye.